What's going on, YouTube fam? It's your boy J Money here. Bringing you guys a top 5 list. I've had some time to really adjust and break some things down a little bit. And I also played a locals yesterday with I played updated to the new list. Other people kind of didn't, which is fine because the list isn't supposed to be effective until Monday. So anyway, I got a top 5 list for you guys in terms of top 5 tier 1 contenders that you guys really need to kind of focus on a little bit. So for starters, what do I think about the list? One, I don't like it. Yes, it's big, it's massive, but there is just a few things that I didn't like. One, Brilliant Fusion getting banned for no reason. It saw no play last format, even with Cloth Heap around the corner. I feel that Brilliant Fusion would still see fringe play at best, so that was unnecessary to me. Two, Lithosagem coming back. Again, it did not. I don't think it died for the sins of a deck in a dead format, essentially Worlds format. The card is just really busted. Being able to rip 3 cards from the opponent's extra deck is stupidly broken, and it wins games because most of our power cards are either limited or we play at 1 anyway because we need to make space for other cards. So yeah, it's only a matter of time before people start whining about Lithosagem and wanting it banned again because, you know, people are having their extra deck just ripped into. So that. 3, Mystic Mine is still at 3 copies. They banned a Brilliant Fusion before Mystic Mine, whatever. And the last one, just Soul Drain to 3. That I definitely don't agree with. The last thing we need is more Abyss Dwellers in the game. You know, Abyss Dweller itself is already getting stronger and stronger and stronger. It's been getting stronger since like 2016. Ever since 2016, that card has got better and better and better and gotten to the point of just winning games by itself because the other deck literally can't do anything. So anyway, so the top 5 best former best decks got smacked. Now, I do believe each and every one of these decks are playable. I feel like they just kind of got shifted around a little bit. Maybe some did, like Thunder and Striker did get bumped down to tier 2. But there are some that are still very much playable. So, let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Starting with number 5, we have Salamangreat. It's no longer going to be a level 3 or rank 3 turbo deck anymore. It will become Master Rule 5 because of multiple Dantes. And you would just have to up your Jack Jaguar count, your Falco count, and that would be basically it. And turbo yourself to the graveyard. Now, Lady Debug came off the list. Yes, Mirage Stallion got banned, but Debug Gazelle is still very much there. Now it's consistent once again. So, now what I am unsure about is if they can still consistently do the Salamangreat combo with an Abyss Dweller. That's the important part. You know, can they still put Abyss Dweller on the board with the Salamangreat combo? If they can't, on a consistent basis, then I don't really care too much about it. But if they can, that's still going to be a problem. Whatever. But yeah, you guys should clearly see why Salamangreats, even with the loss of Mirage Stallion, they still have Gazelle, they still have 3 Silent Minings, which Salamangreat players should already be having they should have already been had. Debugs, you know, again, they just got more starter cards. Mirage Stallion was essentially an extender, but they have more starters now. And you have more consistent ways to get to Gazelle. You now have 7 copies of Gazelle again. Congratulations. You know, Foxy's still 3, Spinny's still 3. You may need to play more copies of Jaguar and Falco. So you can not have to send those cards with Gazelle. I don't know what that actually will do for the deck personally, but because I don't play the deck, but I definitely still see Salad still lurking around. I still think it's going to be there. So there's that. Number 4, we have. I'm gonna go with Pendulum. Do we see Tristless? Anybody see Tristless? Pendulum as a strategy is very, very flexible, and yeah, there may not be a game plan, but because of how vast the Pendulum pool is and how many good Pendulum cards there is, there's always going to be a game plan. You can literally just sit here and revert the Pendulum deck back to nothing but just a bunch of one card interruptions, by themselves. You could easily go right back to that as if nothing ever happened. Apex Avions are still cards. The Mythical Beast package is there. Again, check out Trip's list. Pendulums should definitely not be underestimated. You can still incorporate the Guard Dragon engine in your deck. If you really wanted to, you can still incorporate it. Very much so. Because Dark Worm for Gate 0, there's your first level 7, and LP for Destrudo, there's your second one. You can still do that. You're just not going to Electrum for other pieces, other missing pieces. But, Shrine is still unlimited, and you still have Foolish Burial, so you can still access your Dark Worm. You can still play Guard Dragon combos. The fact that most of the play Pendulum cards of Spellcasters, you can start playing Secret Village of the Spellcasters, Terraforming set rotation for the updated Citadel spell that came out of the Endymion Structure deck. You can play a lot of that stuff. You can play Ravine. Even with Into the Void at 1, you still have plenty of spells that you can resolve. You can go back to Pendulum Call if you really need to. Pendulum still has a lot of options. It still has the options are still there. Number 3, and this is what a lot of us are dreading. A lot of people would put these decks at number 2 or number 1. And it's a tie between 3 decks. We're gonna have Altergeist, Subterror, and yes, even True Draco. Even True Draco is going to be there. Why? Well, let's see. Altergeist and Subterror lumped in the same category for the same reason. Hey, these decks got boosted because the other decks and the other cards that were meant to hard counter the deck got hit. So they didn't get better because they got buffed. They just got better because other decks got nerfed. That is essentially it there. Not to mention they have even more tools that they can play with now. They have more copies of Warning. Warning is arguably the best Solemn card. Yes, Judgment can negate spells and traps, and it can stop normal summons like Warning, but Warning is just 2,000 points, man. You can pay that multiple times and still win that game, especially if you're playing Subterror. And yeah, Altergeist, same thing. The Floodgates didn't get hit, so Subterrors can still play. There can only be ones, and the goes in matches if they really need to, depending on the format, whatever. Now, Draco. They lost Dragonite Diagram, yes. Or, they didn't lose it, it got limited. Card of Demise got limited. Yes, we know this. However, but they still have 3 Duality, they still have Demise, they have 3 Desires still, they have Heritage for multiples, they still have Terraforming, and, you still have that Disciple's ability to draw cards as well. There's still a lot of draw cards that Draco can play. To their deck is still very, very consistent. So, and honestly, and just because of the attribute that the deck has, just their play style, the reason why I still have them up there is because, yes, even though Diagram is at 1, the deck is still good at putting other control stun decks in check, because all their Draco spells, their Heritage and their Disciples are all still a 3. You can still tribute them off, blow them up if you need to, and you can still basically just have a heyday on any and all decks that like to set 5. So there's that, and again, none of the Floodgates went away or got reduced in number. If anything, Soul Drain, they just got more tools. So yeah, I don't think Draco went anywhere. So All right, that's it for those. The reason why they're at number 3 though is because there's still stronger decks out there. Let's just go ahead and put that out there. There's still decks out there that are resilient to back row, and that is going to be our number 2 pick. And well, we're about to see what it is. So, our number 2 pick is going to be Spirals. Honestly, a lot of people would think Spirals would just be undoubtedly best deck, and no contest, no nothing. Nothing stands in the way of Spirals. Tub Super Agent handles all those back row decks, which they do. And yes, we even got Magician Souls. I bought a box yesterday at Locals and pulled one. So I need 2 more. So Magician Souls is sitting at $95. That sucks. So it's expensive, but as I've shown in the Spiral deck profile a couple days ago, and the Spiral combo I did about a week ago now, you don't really need Magician Souls, because all you really need is Scrap Recycler, and you can play Spirals and Orcas in the same deck. So with Magician Souls, it adds another layer of consistency to the deck. It's his master plan and all that stuff. Gets to search. The deck can do a lot. It can make an extra link board. It can make Appaloosa with Trigate Sleeper and all that stuff. And that's really, really strong. Or you can play an Orcas variant and have a not as linear strategy and not lose to Dark Ruler No More games 2 and 3 and set that crescendo and all that good stuff. Hey, another reason why you should be playing Scrap Recycler. Again, I'm going to play this. Obviously, I played actually Spirals yesterday, updated to the new list, and it still performed fantastically. Even with Harp Horror going to 1, all I need to do is send Nightmare to the grave instead and just banish World 1. And I have Orcas combo. That's it. And not to mention, and a lot of folks haven't probably noticed this, but the Legendary Duelist, also Magical Hero, also gave decks like Spirals some new tools. These things. People forgot about this card. A lot of people, they saw this card a few months ago, but they forgot that this card is really strong. So, what this card does, the Performance Pal draw spell, that generic draw spell, you can discard up to 3 cards, or not discard, you can send up to 3 cards from your hand to the graveyard, draw the same number of cards. Normally you're not playing Performer Pals, but so if you're not playing Performer Pals, after you resolve this effect, you will take 1,000 points of damage for each card in your hand. So if you go first, you start with 5 cards. After you resolve this card, you have 4 cards, so you will almost always take 4,000 points of damage. Now, if your hand is good, and you don't need to discard 3, you can still discard 2, draw 2, you can discard 1, draw 1, but the fact that you still take 4,000 points of damage, it kind of makes it seem like it ain't even worth it at that point, now does it? But this card is still really strong because, again, if you're playing Orcas cards, you open Master Plan, you open Mission cards, you open a lot of cards that want to go to the graveyard. You just send as many as you need to the graveyard, draw that same number of cards. Now, this card is vulnerable to Ash Blossom. Don't get it twisted. This card, if you discard 3 and you get ashed, you better hope you had a Master Plan in your hand to discard, and you better hope you have a quick fix in your hand still, or Magician Souls, or 1-card combo, whatever. However, there are ways around that because this card does not have to be played at the start of the main phase. There's no activation restriction for this card. So if you can successfully bait out an Ash Blossom, let's say you activated Where Art Thou, or whatever, you summon your quick fix and they ash it, this card is resolving at that point, 100%. Alright, so the reason why I said this is number 2 is because 1, it loses stupid hard to Abyss Dweller. Really, really hard to Abyss Dweller, it loses. It doesn't lose to Lancia. Yeah, you can't banish mission cards. Yeah, you can't summon Sleeper, but quick fix at this point is extremely abusable and you can't banish it. And you can literally actually link your opponent at that point. So, hey, you just have free reign on your opponent. So it loses really hard to Abyss Dweller. And for those of you who play Spiral, y'all know about the Spiral Curse, to where you will get hands like these pretty often. You'll get hands with like opening multiple mission cards. You'll open like a master plan or a sleeper, like a drone or a spiral tough or something. Like basically you'll open a spiral monster that you'll open like a high level monster, maybe 2 high level monsters. You'll open a normal summon and like no ways but 2 spirals on board. You open like multiple rescues / assaults that you can't do anything with, no foolish goods, whatever. The spiral curse is still there even with Magician's Souls, even with the Performer Pal pop-up card. You know, even with Scrap Recycler, you'll still get those hands. Sometimes you will still get them. That is just the unfortunate part. Because, yes, they're bricks, but they're necessary. You need to play those cards at the end of the day. They're required for your combo to do things. So, that's why it's number 2. I feel like the consistency issue can still be there, and I feel like it loses really hard. If you're playing pure spirals, you're losing to Drone Lockbird. Like, period, point blank. This is why I play the Orcas variant, because it's not linear. You know, it does not lose to Dark World no more. This is why I play Orcas variant, for that very reason. I don't like linear strategies. So, number 1. This is probably unexpected, or it probably is expected. But we have Orcas. Orcas variants, okay? Who cares if Harpoor got banned? Babylon, still in the game. Nightmare, still at 3. We still have World Wand. Also, did anybody not see that the Phantom Knight rank up just got off the list? So, check out Rampengu Nation's combo tutorial. How you can still summon True King of all calamities on the opponent's turn with Orcas combo still, IP, whatever. All you need is a Scrap Recycler and any level 3 extender, and you can just make sure beating send boots to grave, search the rank up spell, and Orcas combo your opponent. And yeah, there you go. So Orcas is still incredibly strong even without the loss of Harpoor. You can literally do all the same things that you're able to do. You just now require 1 additional monster to still be able to just do your typical shenanigans. So, hey, start throwing dangers in your deck. Put Scrap Recycler back in your deck if you really need to. The deck didn't go anywhere. It really did. It got tools back. Orcas variants in general. Lunalight Orcas I still feel like is insane, even without as a thought in the game. The Lunalight package itself is just value town. It's just, it gives you, literally Chick Tiger gives you so much value by itself. There's no reason not to play those cards. And, you know, there's honestly, I feel like another variant of Orcas that is sitting at the dinner table now, and that's Burning Abyss. Burning Abyss Orcas over here. I feel like that is going to be a deck that not a lot of people are really paying too much attention to because, well, it's Burning Abyss. Yes, Grafseer is still at 1, but again, the Phantom Knights card, the Quick Play, the Rank Up Magic got unbanned. It is unlimited, actually. It is at 3. So you don't even need to play the Phantom Knight monsters if you don't want to. You can just play 3 Rank Up launches and Hard Draw, and you could do that in Orcas. If you really want to. And Tour Guide went to 2 as well. So I can see Burning Abyss players over here. Again, you can access the rank up via Cherubini. But if you open Orcas cards, you open like Armageddon Knights, Greffers, all that stuff. You still have all these cards to send those Phantom Knight cards to the graveyard if you already have access to Orcas cards. But just, I can see it now, man. Just ending on like Beatrice, Orcas combo set, quick launch, not quick launch, Rank of Magic's quick launch, because you just milled any Phantom Knight. You milled your Cloak or your Boots with Dante. And yeah, there you go. Again, Orcas didn't go anywhere. Orcas still has the ability to put stun decks like Subterra and all that in check. Because the Gear Sword is a card. Get off my phone. And yeah, that's my number 1 reason. Again, Harp getting banned did nothing. Well, it did something. But it's very minimal in the grand scheme of things. You're just gonna have to bump your Nightmare count up and your symbol count up if you really want your return to be a little bit more consistent. if you were going to play pure Orcas. So, hey, 3 more months of Orcas, guys, and we're getting Mech Knight Orcas Girsu in the next following course set. And, yeah, so, have fun, guys. Anyway, yeah, that's my list. So, let's run it over again. We have, number 5 being, oh man, I forgot what the deck, Salamangreats. 4, Pendulum. 3, the stun decks, the control decks, the decks I want to set 5. Like, I just lumped them all in the same group. 2, Spirals, and number 1 being Orcas. So, yeah, that's my top 5 list. Just looking at the ban list and just seeing and actually experiencing the deck is like, bro, Orcas is still extremely playable. Extremely so. So, yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think should be the top 5 decks of this new format. I'd like to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. And with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. This is J Money, and I am signing out.